Good, good, good. All right, good deal. All right, perfect. Let's get going. We got people online waiting for us to go live, and so here we are. I was talking about, it seems like we were just here, but it's because February is so short, right? February just kind of sneaks, I mean, it just, but I was telling somebody else, I said, you can't blame February. It's not like they spring it on me, right? It's been that way for a while. I should know by now that February's short and not have to blame the short month on, oh, that's why we didn't have as many sales, just because, they took away 3 of our sales. Well, year over year kind of takes that into account, doesn't it? If you do a year over year analysis on what you've got going on. So, good to see everybody. Let's go through our vendors real quick. It's warm in here and Jim loves it. All right. Okay, if he's got thumbs up, a little chill. Come on.
I'm with you, Bob.
Yeah, I am telling you. Jim is, he channels his inner 80-year-old man. I'm telling you. He says it's always too cold. Everything's too cold, too cold, too cold. All right. So, unfortunately, a lot of our, sometimes he's around, stuck in the West Chase office with our support staff who are going through menopause, so that's bad news, right? Okay, so they're cranking down the air to 62 is not cool enough, and Jim's like wearing a parka in his thing. So anyway, all right, let's go around and get our vendors real fast, and then we'll get going. Jerry, see, I'm with you. It's warm enough, right? Okay, very good. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jerry Papa, broker owner of Gulfview Realty Property Management, professional lease and property management company serving all of Tampa Bay and providing professional services by way of using a systemic cloud. We pay referral fees. We promise to never steal your customer. We're not affiliated with Future Home Realty. We're an independent company, but we just happen to be located in your office. If you'd like to know more about what we do and how we do it, please either give me a call, stop and see me, or whatever. I also want to give a shout out that we are involved with the Tampa Housing Authority this Saturday in their annual Run for the Homeless. You may say, why are you involved with the Run for the Homeless with the Tampa Housing Authority? Well, we manage Section 8 properties.
Oh, cool.
And because we manage Section 8 properties, we have a lot of interface with the people from Tampa Housing, as well as the housing authorities of the 8,562,000 other ones in the Tampa Bay area.
Right.
And of course, none of them are the same. Every one of them has different rules and regulations. So when you do Section 8 properties, you better know what the rules and regulations are of that specific housing authority, because they could be right next door to each other and they're different. Anyhow, the homeless run for the Run for the Homeless, is this Saturday at Al Lopez Park from 8:30 to 1 o'clock. Gulfview Realty Property Management is one of the sponsors of the event. It's a great event. It's to bring awareness, again, if you're not already aware of it and you've been living under a rock, we do have homeless people in Tampa Bay. And as a matter of fact, I think we have more homeless probably in Tampa Bay / Florida than they do in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Well, you think? I wonder what that is. Check the Weather Channel. Okay, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, what'd you say? They're homeless, not stupid? Yeah, right, exactly.
So in any event, if you have a need, or you have a client that has a need that has a Section 8 property, please see us about that, because while we do manage properties from Section 8 to up to about $7,000 or $8,000 a month, we are astute and we are trained and we're knowledgeable about the applicable rules and regulations throughout Tampa Bay as it relates to that.
Awesome.
Jerry Papa, Gulfview Realty Property Management.
Perfect. Good deal. That's a good elevator. He's like he's been to a B&I group or something, when you got your how many minutes. Well, and I'm not skipping David because we come back to him. Remember, we like to get free advice from an attorney that we have to pay for, so we come back to David later. So, what's up, Kev?
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. You got an event Thursday, tomorrow, or 2 days from now?
Day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, I put a flyer in front of everyone. I think I know almost everyone, but in case I don't. Kevin Overstreet, I'm the owner of Insured Title Agency next door to Bob's office here in West Chase, also the director of Synergy Title down on Gulf Boulevard in Madera Beach, and the founder of this company, which is Become a Better Agent LLC, and it's a training program. And before I forget, this is Jenny Restrepo. She is the project manager for Baba. She's the reason things are actually going smoothly at the meetings now. So, but please come if you haven't already registered. This one's going to be at East Lake Woodlands at the Country Club in the clubhouse, just not too far from here. I guess that's Oldsmar.
Yep.
And a bunch of great stuff is going to be happening. We're having our partner fair. We'll have many, I think probably a dozen or 15 of our partners or vendors that'll be there displaying and meeting everyone. The thing I might be the most excited about is the first section there with Dave Falk. I got to sit through the presentation yesterday for this new thing called Hello Alex, and it is absolutely incredible what it does with your leads. And he's going to have a special offer just for the people who attend on Thursday, and this thing's incredible. It's AI, which typically stands for artificial intelligence, but they've tweaked it a little bit, and they're calling it automated income. And that's it absolutely blew my mind what it does.
Cool.
When I looked at it yesterday. So there's your teaser. Now come and learn on Thursday.
Awesome. Cool. Good deal. Thanks, Kev. That's great. Good deal. Brian, how are you?
Good.
Good. Tell us about what you got going on. Introduce your guest and then who's coming next week or next month.
Brian Brown, Republic Home Warranty, and I'm help sponsoring next week's
Next month. Actually, I love
meeting.
that.
I know.
That's right.
And not next month's meeting, but Janet's actually going to do the meeting because I thought you guys would get tired of hearing about home warranties. So Janet, stand up. She's with Old Republic Exchange. They do 1031 exchanges. So
Yeah,
she's going to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're a qualified intermediary. We're nationwide for 1031 tax deferred exchanges. And if anybody has any questions, I have some brochures that I left on the table over there. You can call me, and I'll be here next month.
So she'll be the speaker, and
Give us a lowdown on that. Huge. Again, you got to have more bullets in your belt, right? How are you differentiating yourself from other agents in the marketplace, right? Well, I got more bullets in my belt, and I can therefore outshoot you, right? Because, hey, oh, you're an investor? Great, I got a 1031 exchange person. Oh, you want to do, you're a Canadian buyer? Great, I understand all that, everything behind FERPTA. All these kind of things, right, that we have to have knowledge of, don't need to be experts in, but know where to go get the answers. So come next month so we can learn how to turn it over.
I thought it would be a good.
It's a great, I think it's awesome. Good deal. Thanks for doing that. Perfect.
Don't forget to write warranties in the meantime.
Yeah, right. In the meantime, exactly. And you can write warranties on 1031 exchanges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Okay, very good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Hanging in there?
Hanging in there.
When's the due date again?
April 28th.
April 28th. It's coming. All right. It's a he.
He.
His name's
No.
I know his name.
Only he knows.
Her husband doesn't even know, and I know. All right. Okay. He knows.
He knows.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So we all know. All right.
I slipped to you.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay.
So I'm Tiffany with State Insurance. I own an independent agency, and we have about 30 carriers. So we like to say we have a market for every property, and we literally do. I actually just wrote an unremediated sinkhole policy with catastrophic ground cover collapse.
With polybutylene piping and Chinese drywall.
It was in a piece
All right.
and all this other crazy stuff. I would never buy a property like that. I am not recommending that you encourage your buyers to do so, but they were hell-bent on buying this property, and that's what the lender required, and we made it happen. So give us a try. We love our agents. We really just want to come alongside you and help you throughout the transaction, especially with homes that have trickier things, and just educate you. So the sooner you come to us to get a quote, the better, because at the end of the transaction, when we're trying to place something, it just gets crazy for everyone.
Right, you're just looking for an answer as opposed to where you have looking for the best answer when it's early, right? At the end of the day, you're looking for the answer.
Yes, and we always want to do the thing that is the best for your client. So we're not ever going to try to push someone into a policy or a property to get a closing. We really truly care about our relationships, your relationships. So, and I also just want to give a plug to Baba. I got to preview some other content that we're doing towards the end of Baba. So if you come on Thursday, make sure you stay the whole time. Nick and I will actually be participating in something that has already changed my business and how I'm interacting with my employees and my clients. So please come check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Awesome. Good
Thanks.
deal. Perfect. How are you?
Good. How
Good.
are you?
Good. I'm just gonna hold. This is not a microphone, so it's actually
Testing.
It's
Sounds like a microphone.
but it's not projecting. It's just so that online they can hear us better.
Good enough. Hey everyone, Dawn Perkins with Rock Solid Home Inspections. We're one of the primary sponsors for today.
Yeah.
I'll be giving out some information about our company. Several of you I already know. Rock Solid Home Inspection, we do home inspections from...
Wait, so you're doing the presentation?
I am.
All right, well...
I wanted to give myself an extra plug, but now I'll sit down.
All right, here we go. Jiminy Christmas.
More
all right.
to come later.
All right,
How
good
about
deal.
that?
Awesome, good deal. I didn't know you were with Rock Solid. That's perfect. Good deal. Awesome. You got any other vendors in there? I mean, I know you're all vendors. You're all pitching your wares, but you're pitching your wares to each other. That doesn't do any good, right? So, So again, here's the thing. Remember Future Home Realty, if you're new to us, we have no affiliation with anybody. We've been there, done that, kind of, wrote the book, bought the t-shirt, burned them all. And so we don't have that. I try and bring people to you as a buffet that I trust, right? Because they've proven themselves to us, and then also that bring value to you, right? Because it's another thing, the perception is, and okay, vendors, you can plug your ears if you want a little bit, but they're, amoeba sucking on us. We bring the deal, and there's so many industries that exist because we exist, all right? It's flat out, and don't ever forget that. All right, okay? But without a transaction occurring, there is no home inspection, there is no need for title, there is no need for insurance, all these things. So we're kind of on the front lines, right? And so because of that, trust me, you get to a company of 1,300 agents, all right? If I could just have $1 for every time a vendor approached me, but hey, I'd love to, right? So I try and bring people to you that are actually going to bring you value. Like Kevin, like with his Baba, he's trying to help you become a better agent, and you do that, right? Tiffany does the same thing. It's all about the clients, right? It's exactly. Jerry, you're bringing value, taking that burden of property management off of you, because nobody wants to do property management, but you want to keep the relationship. So Jerry allows us to keep the relationship with the client without having to do the property management, right? And so he protects that relationship for us. And so all these people are people that I trust to do those things. So that's who we are going to put in front of you, all right, at any given time. And then it's your choice you do your due diligence on them, all right, grill them, grill Brian on his home warranty. There are other home warranty companies out there. I think Brian's a great guy and does a fantastic job. What's that? They're all out of business now? Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. It's Old Republic's the only one now. I didn't know they all went away. All right, and tell all your realtor friends that all their other real estate companies are going away as well. All right, so just send them here. So that being said, David, come on up. David owns American Patriot Title, all right, and does a fantastic job. And in addition to that, are you still the attorney for GTAR? Or Getter, or whatever that is?
I'm the attorney for the Greater Tampa Realtor.
Okay, now you've dropped the A. All right,
right,
okay, gotcha.
Right. We all
Get her done.
Get her.
All right, exactly.
Right.
So he's represented people in front of FREC, a lot of them. How many?
Probably 250 to 300.
All right, but when you get in trouble, all right, knows how to try and get you out of trouble if at all possible, if it's doable.
It's not as much fun to get them out of trouble before it happens, but...
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's why we're here now, is trying to attack it on the front side. We're trying to be proactive and catch them before they get into trouble.
That's right.
All right, so you got a couple things for us.
I do.
Here, I'll let you take this, hold that.
All right.
All right. And let's go ahead, and since Rock Solid is here, we got to make sure we keep on time. I'll give you about till 10 o'clock. That's a lot, dude.
That's plenty. That's too much.
Okay.
I've got too much time.
We make it 9:58.
I've got too much. Now, first of all, I want to explain, he called David Rankin, and I'm Mr. Amoeba, all right? All right, let's just get that straight. Everybody back there, we're all Mr. and Ms.
Parasites, we like to call you. But that's
There we go. There we go. Let's just be clear about this. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is teams. The Florida Real Estate Commission looked about a year ago and said, "Oh my heavens, we have teams out there. What are they? What do they do? How the heck are we going to regulate? We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this." And then they met and thought, "Well, maybe we won't do that. Maybe." Anyway, they've fallen back, but let me just say this. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but the most significant thing for anybody contemplating being a team or forming a team is that there is a rule and there are requirements. There are certain words in the title of your team that you absolutely positively cannot have in the name of your team, all right? But they realize that, hey, if we pass this rule and we start it effective immediately, then there are going to be a lot of teams that have issues because they've published all kinds of materials, and we want to make sure that they have plenty of time to adjust. So from the effective date and the effective date has not arrived yet. It sounds like an attorney talking, and it is. From the date that, the effective date, there's going to be a year. So the effective date has not arrived yet. So you have plenty of time. But if you are in the next few months or next 6 months thinking about becoming a team or forming a team, you absolutely positively must find this rule and give me a call or Jim a call, and we'll be glad to get you a copy. And if you have any questions about it, but just know that it's there. All right. So on to the next thing. Imagine this. Imagine this. You are representing a seller, and you're really feeling good because you got a contract, you got a buyer, and everything's looking good, and you get a call. Let's say there's a 15-day inspection period, and on day 9, they say, well, you know, the buyer's agent calls up and says, you know, we did the inspection, and the roof is really looking bad. So I tell you what, why don't, we want you to consider giving us a $5,000 discount because it's going to be $7,000 to do new roof, and my people are still interested, but we think it'd only be fair. Why don't we do that? And the guy says, well, seller's agent says, well, we'll think about it. And then about 10 minutes later, you get an email from the seller's agent, and the seller's agent says, our contract is terminated. Our contract is terminated. All right? Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. I was talking to Jim, and I want you to know that Jim is a very valuable resource. He's probably thinking, why in the heck does he encourage people to call me? But anyway, so when I'm trying to kick around things in my mind as far as what's going on in the real world and how is it being, this is a fellow that I call because number one, he fields a lot of calls, and number two, he knows what he's talking about. He's very familiar with all these, and when I call up and I've got something that's crazy, he tells, you know, David, that's crazy. So anyway, the crazy barometer. All right, so in that scenario, the seller's agent says, hey, this is terminated, our contract is terminated. Is that seller's agent correct? How many people think it's correct? How many people are too shy to raise their hand? Anyway, what's interesting, and Jim has shared this with me, and I've heard from other people who field these kind of calls, that there seems to be more calls like this saying that, well, the contract is terminated. And I strongly disagree, but I've had people say that, well, you know, I called the hotline, and they told me that they were right. And so there is some, I wouldn't even say it's a minority view, but I think there's some, the word is getting around. And as we know, in our society, there are different, whether it's radio or television, you can always find somewhere where they agree with you no matter how crazy your opinion is. All right. But in my view, I don't know of any support for the proposition that just because a suggestion of a discount before the property inspection period has expired, the buyer's agent calling up and saying, we would like you to consider a discount. The implication being that, well, if you don't give the discount, the buyer may, before the end of the inspection period, we may terminate. So there's a little bit of good-natured negotiation going on there.
So the listing agent's theory is because you're reopening negotiations, I then therefore it voids the contract, and therefore we can, if we decide not to take your offer of repairs, then and basically I can go with my backup offer for 10,000 more cap.
So the confusion, the origin is, I think, is that before the contract is signed, we all know that, all right, so there's no contract, and let's say the buyer submits a contract, and the seller reads it over, and they don't like the price, they line through the price, they change the price, they change the inspection period from, from 20 days to 10, and then they initial it. And so you have signatures, you have the buyer and the seller have signed, but the seller has made changes, material changes, and so it arrives back to the buyer, and the buyer in that situation knows that, well, we don't have an enforceable contract. So that's true. So then let's say the buyer sends it, makes changes, sends it back to the seller. we don't have an enforceable contract. So I think that's what people are thinking has happened. They remember that story and they're thinking, oh my gosh, there's a change of terms, and really the only thing that's changed, something has been proposed. The contract is still valid because there's an offer, acceptance, those are the signatures, and consideration. That's what the fundamental first day of law school, you go to contract class, and the first thing they teach is, in order to have an enforceable contract, you have to offer, acceptance, and consideration. So you have the offer, acceptance, that's the contract signed by both parties, and you have consideration, which is the deposit. And all that's happened is that somebody has suggested that, hey, how about this? But I would submit that there is no opportunity for the seller to terminate just by virtue of the fact that the buyer has said, why don't we change the terms? It's only bargaining. It's happened, for many years, and I probably went 20 years without hearing somebody saying, "Yep, we're going to terminate because you changed the terms." But for some reason, there's something going on in the water out there that.
So our theory is that does not void the contract. So anybody tries to push on you when you do that to them, right? If the listing agent comes back and says, "Oh, you're voiding the contract by doing that," say, "No, that's totally incorrect. You present this to your seller, tell them what they say, and then we can decide what we're going to do. But the original contract is still intact, and I still have my time period. You don't want to do this on the 11th hour of the 9th day or the 10th day when your inspection period's up, because then you voided when you get past the inspection period. Now you've lost your right to terminate as a buyer's agent because you have the buyer has a unilateral option to terminate on an as-is contract. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So, David, with that, you brought something and just hit me, and I'll give you 2 more minutes. All right?
All right.
Non-delivery of consideration.
Wait, now this is not in the script.
Oh, now it's billable hours.
I'm just going to go sit down now. This is stump the chimp. All right, go ahead.
So, right, if we, so deposit doesn't get in 3 days like it's supposed to, okay? I would agree does that terminate the contract? Does that make it voidable? Does that give the seller the right to then exercise their specific performance clause in the contract? What happens when earnest money, i.e. consideration, is not delivered in a timely fashion?
Okay. Well, I would say this. Any delay, and you need to have this conversation with your buyers right away. There are some buyers who just think they take the la-di-da approach. And
is that a legal term?
it is.
Okay, very good.
That's the second day of law school, la-di-da. So you use an interesting term, voidable. All right. Well, the term voidable suggests that there is a contract in existence and it can be terminated. But if you have offer and acceptance, both parties have signed, but no consideration, you never had a contract.
So the contract doesn't exist?
The contract doesn't exist. So if on the first page of the contract it says that there has to be a response within a certain number of days, or that if there's something specific about when the deposit has to be delivered, then that suggests that, and it's only a suggestion, that, and this would be an argument, and you don't want to be arguing when you could have gone ahead and delivered the check. There's a suggestion that, well, for that period of time that's allowed for the check to be delivered, then other people, even though you don't have a contract, the property kind of reserved. And see, I'm making up terms because it really doesn't, there's no specific law on this. So if in the contract it says you have, the deposits be delivered in 3 days, that suggests that if you get it in 3 days, then it's, that's you have a binding contract. But I would say this: the soonest, the absolute soonest that the buyer can get that deposit delivered, the better. Because there are agents who have been known, and doesn't happen very often, but there are agents who have been known. Let's see, we got buyer and seller signed, the deposit has been delivered, and I just got a cash offer for $20,000 more. I mean, that is temptation, and I've had a number of...
Say, even though we gave them 3 days in the offer and acceptance portion, right?
Right.
But we're in that 3-day window, but they haven't delivered it yet?
Yeah.
and technically, without consideration, there is no contract.
That's right.
So you're saying that some listing agents may come out and say, hey, forget it, and we're going to go ahead and cancel this contract because you haven't delivered, even though you have 3 days to do it.
Well, see, you use the phrase
Cancel a contract.
cancel. Right. There is no contract. There is no contract. So it's important to have a conversation with your buyers and tell them that, hey, until we deliver that deposit, we do not have an enforceable contract. So we don't want any la-di-da.
Let me be clear as the broker on the other side of this, right? If you're the listing agent, I don't want you going all bad and telling people, they haven't delivered their earnest money, and we can do this. I heard from David Rankin that we can
No,
go.
that's right.
We got a $20,000 offer, so, and now you sold the home twice, all right? And I'm not gonna be real happy with you. All right, at all. I'm gonna have very little sympathy as I'm kicking you in the backside to say, hey, look, you know what, I don't wanna hear it. So you're gonna cause way more problems. And if your seller wants to do that, all right, then you have them to lawyer up and get their advice from an attorney, and we step out, right? If that's the way you wanna go on this thing, you wanna write another offer or accept another offer because they haven't delivered this consideration in this time period, good on you. That's your legal theory, all right? Then you go talk to whoever and whoever, because there's usually 2 names in an attorney's office, all right?
So I have one last comment. I had the very same conversation with a broker about 3 weeks ago, and his seller's agent had their seller had signed another contract without disposing of the first one, and within it was about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, he had shared with me that, David, I don't want you. I know you're going to ask the question, but I just want to go ahead and tell you that I've already contacted my coverage, and they are fully aware of what has happened. And I said, that was my next question. Thank you very much. So the point being that you absolutely do not cancel or think you're canceling until you're certain that that first contract is canceled. And you might want to have a conversation with Bob or Jim just to make absolutely certain, because the last thing you want to get, there's a reason that broker said, I've already contacted my O&E carrier, and that is because he knew that what I was talking about next was the liability of the seller's brokerage. So, no more questions.
One more question over here, I think.
Yeah. So since there's no execution date or signed off that the title company has accepted the earnest money check, what is the official, what is the legal? Okay, the title company now has the earnest money.
What constitutes, how do I prove that
Yes,
they've
exactly.
received it?
Thank you.
You should have them, right? Like if I'm delivering money to you, I would have somebody say, hey, look, can you do me a favor? Because we require a copy of the escrow, right? The earnest money. So make a copy of that and have the person at David's front desk, hey, sign off on this saying you've accepted it as of this date and this time. Okay. Money's been delivered.
So that earnest money receipt that we have in our docs is.
And I think most title companies, I'm sure Kevin does, as soon as we get it, within a very short period, an hour or so, we email a copy to all parties, so everybody knows that it's been received. And also there's a FREC rule that says that as the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, you must, it's your obligation to ensure that the deposit has been paid. Absolutely, positively. I would, in your checklist.
Ball is dropped all the time.
Make certain, because imagine this, that the buyer just for whatever reason on a whim says, I'm canceling the contract. And your seller immediately says, well, we got that deposit. Great. And then you call the title company and we never got that.
Never got it.
So who
there's no
is
contract to cancel, by the way.
My first call, if I was on the other side, would be to, all right, where is my deposit? All right. And I want the realtor to pay for it. All right.
Awesome. Good deal. Yep.
What if the earnest money comes like after the 30?
Yeah, so what happens if, so we have 3 days to deliver. I know, exact time's up. All right, so it's 3 days to deliver. They don't do it and they go, oh crap, they wake up on Monday morning saying, I was supposed to deliver that on Friday. You know what, and the seller has attempted, already got Willinka or whoever, sorry, to go and say, we're gonna cancel this contract. If the seller's agent, listing agent, doesn't deliver notice, hey, look, we never had a contract,
right? You didn't exercise this. What they're saying is, how about this? Let's put it this way. What if it said 3 days in the offer, A and A, but no C, no consideration yet, and then on the 5th day, they come in and deliver? Does that say, okay, well, now we're in a contract? Or is say, well, you didn't do it in the 3 days, so too bad?
There's no contract.
What I tell agents when that happens is, whatever, you can correct me, but what I say is that if the seller has not canceled, exercise their right to cancel, post the 3 day, and that means that if you get the escrow in on day 5 and you send them a receipt, everybody's moving forward as if they got that and they're happy and everyone's good, so they don't need to do any addendum or change anything because you let them more time.
Well, I would tend to agree with you 100%. I just want to know what a judge would say.
Yeah, I know. That's why I go back.
On both sides, let's say the buyer has 3 days and you're in the 4th day. What you want to do is before that 4th day, you want to be talking to your client and telling them, hey, we have an opportunity coming up here. They have to deliver a deposit on the 3rd day. If they don't, we're no longer obligated to do business with them. Is there another direction you want to go? Is there another offer? Is there something else you want to do? If there is, let's do it, because at the end of the 3rd day, then I'm going to let them know your opportunity is gone because you only had 3 days and now it's day 4. Or you and your client have made a conscious decision. Hey, there's nothing else out there. Nobody else is making an offer. We are moving forward. You make a knowing decision that you're moving forward, and you're not taking advantage of the opportunity to not terminate the contract, but terminate their opportunity to get into it.
Terminate their offer, if you will, because there is no contract, because it's not a contract until consideration is delivered.
Right.
Good deal. All right, Ximena, Christmas, you guys got a lot of questions.
I just wanted to offer some information as a former broker owner for several years. One of the biggest problems I found that my agents made at that time was forgetting the second deposit.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, exactly. There's.
Oh, it seemed to always be a headache. It just goes, and then you're out of contract.
Right. Again, exactly. Right. And so in the contract, right? So partial consideration's been given. So but if they miss that second one, we're out of. Now there is a contract, right? Because initial consideration given. Right. But then if they miss the second deposit date, now we're out of contract again. We actually have a contract to be out of.
Right.
Because of initial right.
That is correct.
Very good point. Thank you for bringing it. It's so true. All right. So the key is this. If you write a contract, if you're representing the buyer, write a contract, make sure your buyer abides by the terms of the contract. If you're representing the seller and there's a contract given, make sure that all parties abide by the terms of the contract. Okay? And then we're all good. All right? It's all a wonderful thing. Jerry.
This is just a little bit off of this.
Sorry, seriously, I can't go hypotheticals for all day long. Okay, you better be, you got 37 seconds, go.
It's a true story.
Stories? Nope, sorry. Okay, we'll do it later. All right, come on up, Lenny, come on up. All right, no stories. All right. You said it's a true story.
But it's
I got it. Here we go. All right. We got to roll. We got time frames. All right. Good deal. Lenny, how are you, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good to see you. Lenny Swearigan. All right.
Yep.
Here, you're gonna. This is not a microphone, but it records everything that's on the internet. So be careful what you say. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see.
I do have to say.
Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Awesome. I've had 3 cups of coffee, so I'm doing great. I'm not going to bore you with what a home inspection does or the different things that we do. All home inspectors do home inspections, 4-point winds, all that kind of stuff. We're a little different. We actually do molds and termites and stuff as well. What I'm going to talk about is what makes us totally different than any home inspection company you've ever worked with, because we are actually actively pursuing ways for you to get more clients and to service them better. What do I mean by that? As a home inspection company, we partnered with Baba, our Kevin Overstreet. So you have the pre-qual, which you can do a pre-listing with sellers, which provides a home inspection, title work, open municipalities to be able to get you more selling and more listings. So that's an active way for you to be able to get more clients, and it also takes care of the clients better because it gives them an inspection with warranties and guarantees and everything like that. We've partnered with a major home warranty company. They'll lower their fee from $500 or the $400 to $500 to only $285 for a 1-year full home warranty. And I can't announce the second company yet, but it's actually 2 home warranty companies that offer that for us now. We're the only home inspection company that has multiple home warranty companies that have deemed there's less liability when we do the inspection than when anyone else has. And in fact, they did the numbers, and it's over a 50% drop on our inspections than any other inspector on their claims on those warranty companies that have already been working with us. So that's the difference. We also have the buyback guarantee for you, for your clients. If we do the inspection and we miss something, if it's another inspector, they get stuck with it. They might get their inspection feedback, but that's all a home inspection company is liable for in Florida. Rock Solid Home Inspections, International completely backs us. We'll buy the house back. Let that sink in for just a second. We actually buy the house back and the client can walk away, and we've done it twice. Huh?
Has that been done?
Twice.
Twice.
And I can get you the realtor so you can talk to him. John Fernero and Nick, and I can't say his last name because it's really long, at Keller Williams in Palm Harbor. And I'll give you both scenarios. The first one was the customer had buyer's remorse, bought a condo with 89 defects in the house. Bought it sight unseen, didn't look at the inspection report, moved in and was like, oh, it's a disaster. And she called me up and said, would you only buy it back if you missed something? I said, yeah, unfortunately, that's how it works. And she said, okay, I'll call you back. 2 weeks later, she called me back and said, would you buy it back if something was wrong with the front door? Because there's nothing about the front door in the report. And I said, yeah, what's wrong with the front door? And she said, oh, well, I'll call you back. 2 days later, exactly. 2 days later, she called me and said the front door was cracked. She cracked it. Because we had pictures showing it wasn't cracked. But International didn't even ask what was wrong. They bought the house back anyway. So if this ever happens to you, don't get upset. Actually, high five 3 of your other realtor friends in the office, because that realtor sold her another condo in the same building and got the listing. So you got 2 more commissions coming if we buy your house back. The other property we bought back was, it had a crawl space that only had 3 inches because the dirt had built up. No way an inspector could get under there because I can't find an inspector that's only 3 inches tall. When they did remodeling of the floor, they found out that it was eaten up with termites and it was kind of caving in and it was going to be a $50,000 job. They called me back and I said, you know what, International didn't even ask the first time we did one of these. Let's just try it, because it isn't something I missed because I couldn't inspect it and it was hidden, but let's see. International bought it. And again, the realtor got 2 more commissions and the client was able to have a house instead of being stuck with a $50,000 bill, and International took the hit on the loss. Reason why they can do it, because I know the skeptics out there, why would a company do that? We're only 1 out of 1,000 inspectors in the entire United States with International that are certified for this program. The 1,000 inspectors that do it are inspectors like us that do over 200 inspections a month. We pay $5 an inspection for those. International maybe buys 5 or 6 houses a year. So the $5 on all those hundreds of inspections with the thousands of inspectors, they make a ton of money on the buyback program. So they can afford to do it. Plus the advertising is fantastic for them. We not only do that for you, but we also have a 200% guarantee. If the customer isn't happy for any reason, we will not only buy back, refund the inspection fee, but we'll pay up to the inspection fee for them to have another inspector come out. And in fact, we just had a pre-qual deal where the buyer wasn't happy with the inspection report and got their own inspector to inspect. When I do a pre-listing inspection, I don't know the seller of the house. I do the inspection for the buyer. So the buyer has my 200% guarantee even though they don't know they have it. We found out and reached out to them. No one reached out to us. And we refunded not only the listing agent for the inspection, but we paid for the buyer's inspection report because we stand behind our warranty whether someone asks us to or not. Because that's the type of business we are, and that's the type of company we want to be for you. Someone who stands by their work and actually takes care of the clients like you take care of your client. We also just started, can I see this one? Pest control company. We take our state license test Monday. If we pass it, which we should, because my guy who is a co-owner with this is pest control guy for over 15 years, super knowledgeable. Within 3 weeks, we will have pest control. Every inspection we perform will come with free pest control, the initial service, if they sign a 1-year agreement. And the pest control operators have locksmith kits and can change up to 5 locks for free. So your client, if they sign a 1-year agreement with the pest control service, will get the initial service of the $150 for free. And then every 3 months thereafter, $99, and they'll change their locks up to 5 for free. Okay, that will be with every inspection we perform going forward, starting in about 3 weeks. So it's kind of for your clients now. Yeah, and it's most locks. The fancy locks we can't do. It's the older locks that we can do, okay?
Cameras and all that.
If you want to be a great agent, you need to get together with programs like the Become a Better Agent. Go to those, the free events. We've also actually created one with Robert Gress. It's not a Become a Better Agent. That's one you definitely want to be a part of and go to. This is just CE credit, and there's 2 classes coming up for just CE credit. It's 3 hours. It's free for the first 100 realtors that register. One's Pinellas, one's Hillsborough, one's April, one's May. The Pinellas, Hillsborough one will rotate every other month, and there's one in Pasco that'll be every month. These are free. You can actually just email the thing and ask which county, and we can put you on the list and send it to you each month. Okay, it's just a free CE credit with Robert Gress, and he talks about things like 50 ways to be more profitable, and I have the same exact flyer, but the other one is how to get more prospectings or something like that, or more listings. All right. And my last little thing, you got a little book here. This is from First American Home Warranty. They're the home warranty that we started with originally that does the $285 for the home warranty. It's all the warranties inside and the number to call to book it. We can actually do it for you at the office as well. And then inside is some flyers and stuff about us, 5 things to ask or 7 things to ask any inspector before you hire them. Testimonials about us and our products and services with mold. And I'm just going to end it with one thing. Has anyone here ever worked with us that has anything that they would like to say, so you can not take my word for it, but a realtor that works with us? Nick?
I've used Rock Solid Home Inspections for both the property pre-qual and the just for buyers doing the inspections. And my customers absolutely love them. They love the reports that they do. And the property pre-qual, I actually had a listing last year, and it was on a remediated sinkhole, nice home. Took about 6 months to get that home sold. Had another one come up just across the street from that one, essentially in a neighboring neighborhood, and that property had the full property pre-qual, had the full inspection with all the warranties and all that, and that one had multiple offers in 10 days. So same price point as well, so in the $400,000 range. So highly, highly recommend them.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I've used their company for both buyers, and I've used the property pre-qual. The last house I did the property pre-qual on, I put in the computer on a Friday, and by Monday I had 10 offers. Because the fact that it was listed in the MLS of all the things they would get in addition to buying the house, and closed quickly. On my other inspections, the one I just closed for the first-time home buyer this past Tuesday,
Okay.
Lenny's company did the inspection on that, and we found 2 or 3 minor electrical issues. Went back to the seller, said, we need you to fix this double-tapped breaker, and we need you to tighten a couple of these plugs that are loose. And if you would, can you change one that's in the bathroom to a GFI? Did it without a problem, closed it, beautiful work, done.
Thank you.
And included the 4-point to win bet, which I saved them a bunch of money on their insurance.
2 more, and then I'll have to move on.
What counties do you work?
Pinellas, Pasco, Hillsborough. We just franchised all the way out to Ocala. We're expanding to Orlando, and we're in Sarasota County now as well.
But not Manatee.
Manatee as well. Yep. And just so you know, with that, all of our inspectors go through 100 inspections with me and my training staff before they're released. They are trained mainly on how to do a walkthrough non-threatening, how to talk to your clients, how to look to your clients, how to present to your clients where they don't scare them from the house. And I'll give you an easy example of that. The house is the house. We're not going to hide anything. But if you have a 3-year-old house that has a roof leak in the northeast corner because of a tree branch, if you start the walkthrough with, hey, I looked at your roof and you have a roof leak, the client stops listening. All they're thinking is $15,000 for a new roof. I need to look for a new house. They don't hear that you say the rest of the roof is in great shape. That's the psychology of sales that we went through because I used to be a regional manager of a bank. So me and Don, who went through all that training, train our inspectors on that. So they'll tell them, hey, I looked at your roof. It's in great shape. It's got over 23 years life left in it. But in the northeast corner, a hole got poked in it from a tree branch that needs to be patched. Now they heard my roof is in good shape and it's just a patch job. Saying the same exact thing, but just saying it in a way that the client can hear it and not freak out. Kevin.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that for the property pre-qual, something that we have created through the Become a Better Agent program. If you're wondering what that is, come Thursday, register at bobivan.com, and you can learn a lot more there. We'll have a follow-up meeting where we're going to be teaching you exactly how to explain it and sell it to your seller, because it is a pretty complicated concept, but you're going to be hearing it more and more because it's a growing thing. But the point is, we've only used Rock Solid for that service. We don't have another inspection company, and we don't expect to get another one because the work they do is so solid, and Jenny works closely with their office, getting everything back and forth, and we've gotten a lot of the kinks ironed out, and things are great, so I totally recommend it.
Thank you. And I'll end with two things. One, if you ever have a question or you ever have a concern, or you're like, I wish home inspectors would do this, or I wish they would listen to what realtors say. We meet every 2 weeks, and we're always bringing in realtors, roofers, AC, to always get the guys better. If you have something that you would like our inspectors to do, or you have an idea that would be better to service your clients and you, please call us. We are open and listening to making our service even better and integrate better to service our client better, so we can be kind of one voice out in the market taking care of the clients. And we always stand by our work. We want to earn your trust. Give us 5%, or earn the other 95%. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, bro. There you go. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you. All right. Awesome. Cool. Good deal. All right. So now, we always like to bring in one of our top producers to come and share with you guys, because we're all about the abundance mentality around here, right? There's plenty for us all, so we're going to share how things happen. So, Ximena, come on up. So, Ximena gave anybody a special bonus. Somebody tell me how you spell Ximena. What's that?
Ximena.
You got it. Ximena?
Yeah.
See, got it. Who would have thought that Ximena started with an X? Huh? Love that. All right. So, you got anything you want to share with us, or do you want me to just kind of talk? Let's chat.
Yeah. Let's
all right.
chat.
Good deal. All right. Let's chat. Perfect. So, all right. She kills it, by the way. All right. I love it. How long have you been with us?
A year and 2 months.
Year and 2 months. Okay. Perfect. And here, you hold that, because you plenty to. You can hear my voice from a long way away. How long in the business?
2 years and 2 months.
Okay, so you were with another company for a year and then came over to us, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what line of work prior to?
I was a graphic designer for 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a company or on your own?
Yeah,
or
for a printing company.
Okay.
So all I did was graphic design
Awesome.
and web design. I got my degrees on that. Mm-hmm.
Here? Did you do that work here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, it doesn't sound like you're from the Bronx. It doesn't sound like you're from Louisiana. All right. So where are you from?
I'm Colombian.
Colombia. She's part of our cartel. All right. We got the three up here. We got the Colombian cartel up here. All right. So don't mess with them. All right. You should know better. All right.
Oh my gosh.
That's what we call them. They're great, and they all three do a fantastic job. So it's awesome. So tell us, why real estate then? So 2 years and 2 months ago, you decided to get out of graphic design and into real estate because?
Well, I needed to make more money.
Okay, good answer. All right, good deal. Same reason I got out of teaching.
I always wanted to be a realtor. I bought my house by myself.
You did?
By owner.
Yeah.
I negotiated it.
See, look at you.
When I was 22, 23.
Nice.
And I went to the closing day with a personal check.
Right.
And they were like, no, it needs to be certified. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't have a realtor.
Right.
So,
didn't know. Who would know?
Mm-hmm. So maybe back then I was already.
See, you had it in your blood.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then you decided to take the plunge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And anything that drove you over there other than wanting to make more money? I mean, so you got licensed while you were still working, kind of just taking your classes while you still had the other gig going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I did my online class. It took me like 6 months because it wasn't at a class. So it was online. So it was at night. So it took me all that.
Right.
But once I got it, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, this is meant to be.
Right.
So whatever I do in life, since I got to this country or since I was in my country, I I strive to do my best. And I think, and that's what I teach my daughter, I teach my husband, whatever you do, you gotta do your best. You gotta give it.
There you have to teach your husbands, all right?
Yes.
We all know that. Let's just admit it. If you're trying to still denial there, guys, then, we got other classes for you.
Yeah. So I did my class, I passed my exam. Okay, I was, now what? And so I joined Keller Williams. I like to study a lot, and I like to learn and do things well. And so that's what I did. I did all their classes. Within like 3 months, I got my first buyer, thanks to Andrea, because she's been in the business longer. So she's like my mentor, I want to say, because she really taught me how to negotiate, how to, do things. So I really owe a lot to Andrea, my friend here.
That's very nice. Good deal.
So I did all the classes.
All the classes. Okay, so
Learn.
you're knowledgeable and ready to go. So how did you start? Because she's a capper. You don't get to talk to you unless you cap. And with us, to cap, you have to, remember on transactions, you have to do at least 15 transactions in a year, right? Okay, at a minimum, because that's what gets you to a cap. So she and Andrea capped this year, so that's congratulations. They were just at the cappers lunch. So how did you go in just that short of time to be, because quite frankly, if you're doing 15 transactions a year, that puts you in the upper 15% of realtors in the country, and certainly in this area. So how did you go from a graphic designer to that? Where'd you start getting your business? What'd you do?
Well, my first buyer was $60,000 condo.
Good.
And I did like the impossible, she had a bankruptcy, like she had all kinds of problems, but we closed. And so she was forever thankful. And from there, she started referring me, and I got, a lot of people. My first year, I think I sold 9 homes.
Nice.
I sold a church.
Sold a church?
Yeah.
Very good. All the people in the church, you sold a home, or you sold the church?
No, I sold the church.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Yeah. Nice. See?
Yeah.
You can figure that out.
Was it residential or commercial?
It was commercial, but they spoke Spanish. The pastor was Hispanic, and so I went to the commercial department at Keller Williams, and they were like, okay, we can help you, and you can be in the middle of transactions. So I was very involved.
Sure.
I went to the inspection, I went to the final walkthrough, closing, like if they were my clients, but they wrote the contract, and I learned. I was like, well, might as well learn. So it was super easy. I could have done it by myself and keep all that money.
Can we do commercial here, right? Oh, do you guys even allow commercial? And the answer is absolutely. Right? Why? Because 98% of the time, your involvement as an agent is one sheet of paper called a letter of intent. LOI. All right? My buyer is willing to pay X amount of dollars. We need this many days of due diligence, and we want to close by this date. There's our letter of intent. Slide that across the table. That's what gets hammered out, because that's the meat and potatoes of what the offer really is all about. And then when they say, okay, let's agree to that letter of intent, now attorneys get involved, because usually they're bigger on both sides, on a larger end deal. Attorneys get involved, and they write the 328-page contract that basically says what your one-page letter of intent says, with all the wherefores and whosoever thous and all that kind of stuff, right? And all the Latin terms thrown in there so they can prove their work and everything else, right? And so they create the document. So people ask me all the time, hey, don't you have a lot of liability for doing commercial? I said, you know what? Because you found how easy it was, right? Man, you know what? I got a lot more liability as a broker owner of a real estate company on the $58,000 foreclosure you sold, all right, than I do the $5.8 million commercial building you sold, right? Because why? You didn't write the contract. Attorneys wrote the contract, you're out of it, you just get paid. So if you want to do commercial, I'd say go for it all day long.
It was fun. And
how much of your business is with Spanish speaking?
Ooh, like 90%.
Yeah,
I want to say most of them are Hispanics.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, that's a niche, right? We all have niches, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think you were telling me you have a really good lender that helps you, that's Spanish speaking.
I have 2 that are really good and speak Spanish, and they're kind of like the way I operate. Like they're on it. They take care of my clients, because I think there's no secret other than be on the transaction, be as helpful as you can, be kind, and thankful. I think that's it. And work hard. Be willing to do what others are not willing to do. And that's it. I mean, work hard.
Wait. So you don't have a secret Zillow zip code? No. Wait. You don't have a secret script that you use?
No.
Wait. You don't. I'm just telling you, right? Did you hear that? Okay, let's go back over that. I don't know if you guys caught that. Let's go back to rewind the tape. So work hard.
Yeah, always.
Be kind.
Yes, always.
Represent your client.
Yeah,
right?
always.
You do everything
Be
you can to help them. Be helpful. Make sure your husband's trained.
Yes.
Okay.
Very important.
I was trying to go back to the points here. Right? Because it goes back to she's living out exactly what we do. The next right thing.
Yeah.
Right? Do what you do well, and let other people tell.
Yeah.
Mic drop. End of sales training. Yeah. Right? That's really all we do is do what you do well, right? And then let other people just take it from there, right? Because that's what's happened in your career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Beyond cool to hear that someone can jump into business and do that. So now, do you advertise or is your business really?
Now I got more listings, and so I'm learning, because last year I only had one listing. The rest of it was buyers, and I had rentals. Right. So people are not willing to do rentals, like rental listings.
Right.
You can convert those onto buyers, which I did.
And you meet a lot of people too, even if you have a rental listing, right? You meet these renters that are calling you. Sorry, it's already rented. Sorry, it's already rented. But it's a relationship,
you can
right?
convert them. Because sometimes they put on their profile how much they make, and so I reach out and I just say, "Have you considered buying? Based on your profile, let me know." "Oh no, I'm not interested." "Okay, so I'll just send you other listings, and you form a relationship." And that's it. You just gotta be willing to help, and that's it. Always, like when I send offers, I compliment the house, but being genuine, not being like scripty. "Oh, what a marvelous house you have," and blah, blah, blah.
Falling down. Right?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
Just be genuine and kind on your emails, on your texts, on your phone calls. Good morning, good afternoon, have a great night, have a great weekend. Always, always, always.
Here's the thing too, and you bring up a great point. Is there a difference in text script and email script? Should there be at least? Yeah, an email's a letter. So it's called email for a reason. We've gotten, and I kind of catch myself sometimes that my answers and my replies on emails are more like texts. Right? Where I'm not using salutations, I'm not using, what's the end of it called?
Close.
Close? Yeah, or the close. It's actually like a validation or something like that. Is okay, but I'm not using, hey, proper, I'm just like, got it, no problem. And that's it's fine on a text, it's a different thing. But she makes a great point. You can set yourself apart. You know what I mean? Little things.
Yeah.
Make a difference. Communication, I'm sure you communicate a lot with your clients.
A lot, yeah. And,
How many are first-time home buyers? I mean, the buyers.
A lot. Last year, at least 80% were first-time home buyers using down payment assistance, like the impossible, like no money, and you just gotta fight hard for your clients, help them, be a resource. If you don't know the answer, try to find the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm not gonna invent it, but I'll try to find out as much as I can. Be special on closings. Like if you get to know your clients, well, this is the way I do it. I go and shop for a gift. Something that they can remember me. I just don't buy with my logo and my name all over. I just get to know them, and I buy a little gift.
That's special to them.
That's special.
Then you can tell, hey, look, that means a lot to me because we're into.
Yeah, and so whatever. I always find, little things at Home Goods or whatever, or something that they can do as a family. Like yesterday I had a closing and they had given me a lot of business, so I'm not gonna, and they were the sellers, so I'm gonna give them passes for the zoo because I have a little girl. Cool. So, okay, they can do something as family, and then a gift card so that they can go eat whatever they like. So little things, I think, add up at the end. The hello, good morning, or, just be kind and be genuine. I think that's and work hard, because you have to be willing to go clean a house if they can, go move boxes if they can, go drive and drop paperwork if they can't get away from work. You have to be willing to work hard.
Yeah, because you're not going to make $100,000 a year plus in this business without working hard. All right, if you think, I got good news for you, right? 2 years, 2 months into it, you're already seeing more listings than you did the year before,
yes.
Right? What's going to happen is you're going to continue to see that it's going to be easier and easier to do the same amount of volume because you just have more satisfied clients, right? When you've got 0 satisfied clients, you got to go find people to satisfy.
Yeah.
Right? But once you satisfy them, if you have a method of staying in touch and making sure it's not staying in touch saying, hey, look, refer me business, it's staying in touch saying, hey, look, how can I help?
Right. Like the buyers from last year, I made sure that I reach out, hey, have you filed for homestead exemption? And not just post it on Facebook like, hey, if you bought a house from me, file for this. No, like if it was in Pasco, provide them with the links, the office where they can go, the phone number, are they open 9 to 5, Mondays through Friday? If it was in Hillsborough, provide them with the link. Like, be a resource so that they remember, and most of them are really thankful. For Thanksgiving, I also see Sarah Hash from Equity National Title. I started seeing her as a coach last year, like on August. And she, has also given me a lot of good advice and ideas that I have implemented.
Sarah does a great job, and she's giving personal coaching. It's hard to get her time right now because her word's gotten out. She donates that. She tied into the generosity generation. She read Michael Mayer's book and said, I'm going to revamp my business. I'm going to go start meeting with agents and coaching them, right? And is there an obligation you have to use her title company? No.
Not at all.
Absolutely. Right?
And they're
it's
great.
Like, look, I got all this business because of her.
Yeah.
So that's what the generosity generation's all about. So that's cool.
And it's been great experience. They are very helpful, and I like them.
Awesome.
So, I refer them, and then you get good things at you when you're good and kind. Good things happen, and just that's it.
It's a law of reciprocity, right? I mean, it's that, what? Karma, we all think of karma kind of negatively, right? But karma can be a good thing too, right? Good karma comes back at you as well. Oh, karma, here comes karma, right? Exactly, like, here comes karma, here we go, bring it on.
Yeah.
All right, it's called blessings, depending on what your faith says, but I just say, hey, you know what? Better I am, man, look sing out, all right? Showers of Blessings, a great hymn, go look it up sometime, all right? It's awesome. What if you sang that in the morning, all right, instead of, oh, God. All right? This reminds me, some people get up in the morning and say, good morning, Lord. And other people say, good Lord, it's morning. All right? Okay. Same words, all right? Just how do we attack each day?
Yeah.
So, and just every time I talk to her, by the way, that's why I wanted you guys to meet her, right? Because, okay, pretend like you're not in real estate. Would you use her? Absolutely. She's just likable, is she not? Right? It's like, you know what? I can just feel it. Like, who wouldn't want to be in business with her, right? It's like, if I was going to go look at property, if I wasn't, I'm licensed myself. All right. But, you know what I mean? And that's what you want to be. People are like, I can't believe nobody wants to do business with me. Like, well, you think, right? Go moping around, telling how bad the world is and everything else. All right. How about being positive and being exciting to be around?
Go to 100K. It's key. Last year, I've joined FHR and I went to your meetings, started reading the books and applying, and it makes so much sense. And then go again and again and again, because every time you get something different out of it. So, yes, go to 100K.
Right? Yes. That's good. Because again, the 100K, by the way, is, just principles. It's exactly what we talk about here, right? Is that she's just living out And these are principles are not anything any of us have invented. They're just principles that work, right? It's the getting the good karma coming back. How about you guys? Questions for her? All right, somebody that's newer in the business. How'd you get going? Rana.
Would you mind sharing your Spanish lenders?
Of course. Security National Mortgage, Daniela Izaguirre. I can give you her info. Yeah. And Christian Rodriguez with Homeowners Financial Group. Both great. Yeah.
That's
definitely.
wonderful. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. So, okay, speaking of that, so do your clients, your Spanish speaking, do you have them? Do you give them a copy of the Spanish contract?
No,
Okay,
but
only English?
I sit down and we go over,
Right.
what this means, and of course.
Did you know there's a Spanish contract, right?
No.
Okay. On Florida Realtors.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
On Florida Realtors.
I need that.
So yeah, here's what I did, because I am conversational. And Dave will admit that I'm conversational, not fluent, right? I use a lot of bad tenses and everything, but I love to speak my Spanish. Anybody who will listen to me, here I go, right? Okay, so, but I have represented a lot of Spanish clients, and so sometimes it'd take me 4 hours to go through trying to translate the contract for them. What I learned finally, and you'll love this, the Spanish contract, I would give it to them, right? And then I can't present a Spanish contract to Joe Elmer. That's the listing agent. Joe's going to say, "Como se dice? What the heck?" Right? Okay. Right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go. Cerveza en baño, and that's all you need to know, right? Exactly. Okay, very good. But we can say, hey, look, this is page 1. What's that?
I'm going to tell a story, too.
Oh, okay, gotcha. She's reminding you. All right, she's prompting you. Good. So, but when you give them the Spanish contract, say, hey, look, this is line 3. Read it in Spanish. Now we're going to fill it out so they can at least understand it. So it's really cool. So you can just have it almost translate for you, and you can give it to them in advance.
The other day I posted
A Spanish listing printout for customers.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
See?
That's
deal.
good.
So you can kind of at least do that.
Yeah.
Kind of translate for you.
Be always presentable. Don't just be like sloppy. That's how I operate, be presentable. Don't just roll out of bed and show homes, be professional. You're getting paid a lot of money.
Amen.
So
don't ever forget that.
So be presentable, be professional, be a resource. Andrea just told me to tell about a story about like roofs. So you get in the contract and then the roof is bad, 0 life. And so I have learned that you can negotiate that and get it done before closing, and then the contractor can get paid at closing. So
agree to do the roof, because FHA deal, right?
Yeah.
Roof has to be done. Seller doesn't have any money to do it in advance. Buyer doesn't want to pay the money in advance or doesn't have the money anyway. So you found a roofer that does the roof and agreed to be paid. Now again, the roofer probably is. I love this because this is my whole career. This is where I figured these things out as well. So it's awesome because the roofer says, hey, look, you show me a pre-approval. I want to talk to the lender because I don't want to put a roof on and the deal falls apart.
You have to make sure.
How do I get my money out of the seller and all that stuff?
You gotta be sure that the buyer is gonna be approved before they commence the work.
But you found a roofer that does that.
Yeah.
Deals like that.
Just solutions.
Yeah,
right?
like 3 deals I've done.
Those are just everybody else throws in the towel.
Right? No, you're in it to like get it done, and you, as Lucy was saying, you're a team with the other agents. So start the relationship from the moment you're showing and provide feedback. Hey, this is not gonna work, thank you so much.
Right.
And
the next time you have an offer on their listing,
right?
Like, hey, I sent you a feedback request 15 times and you never responded.
Yeah, because you never know when you're gonna, if you had a bad experience with another agent, always be the better person, because you never know when the next time you're gonna have to deal with them again.
Small world, by the way. As big as we think this is, it's a small world. Because you're only 10% of them doing all the business anyway. Right, or the realtors out there. So you're going to run into them. If you're doing business, you're going to run into the same people all the time.
Yeah, always be nice. Be nice.
Love that. Did you teach your husband that one too?
He's so nice.
See, that's good.
So,
And also, shameless plug. All right, let me plug. Okay, her husband owns a Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Academy.
in downtown Safety Harbor. All right, so if you're looking to do a little bit, is it Gracie Bar?
Become a better ninja.
Become a better, yeah, exactly.
No, his lineage is from another professor.
Okay, gotcha.
But he's been a black belt. He started when, I don't know, like 13 years ago. And things go around because we were very young. And I was like, okay, great. You won the competition. You brought a sword. Now what? Are we going to
Show
live?
me the check. How are we going to cash
Right?
that?
And so I was always like opposed to it. I guess you're young and you don't know. In marriage, you know, you go through highs and lows. And now, like, I regret saying things like that.
Sure.
You know, because now, in my first year, so I was like 6 or 5 months into the business and he got laid off, you know, and so that was very hard for us. That was like, oh my God, now I have to like really go at it and sell. And so that kind of gave us the opportunity of like me going out there all in. I'm gonna make this happen because we need to build this business and be successful and make money.
Right.
So, and that's how we did it.
Right? If you don't have any other options, we call it burning the boats, right? 100K. All right? You attack the land, you're on there, you burn your boats.
Yeah.
Okay, there is no retreat. So it's you conquer or die, basically, right?
And also it's a good resource for clients, you know, like there's families there that need services and I'm not always like advertising. I do have a little like printout that, you know, my car and need to buy or sell, but I'm not like always like preaching, hey, by the way, no, it just comes naturally.
Perfect.
So there's no
so
secret.
You have just one daughter?
One daughter.
How old is she?
She's 14.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's my number one in my family. So, like, I wanted to share like my schedule. I always write down first, you know, my family things, priorities.
Right?
Because at 2:30, I'm out, you know, picking up my daughter from school, bringing her home, giving her food, and then taking her to jiu-jitsu and soccer. So that comes first.
Right.
So I need to make my mornings like really effective.
Ultra productive.
And let your clients know what your schedule is like, you know.
People buy into that, by the way. People understand you have a family, all right?
Yeah.
And if they don't, go find another client. There's plenty of people out there, all right? Quit latching onto the one and saying, okay, whatever you say, you snap, I jump.
Yeah, no.
All right, screw that.
No. Always write down your schedule, put it on your schedule, plan your week, Sunday night ritual, you know, analyze your week, do your exercise, you know, just fit it in your schedule. That's it.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
After that, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Great question. Any more? How about who's got another question for her? She's done a great job of just, I mean, it's pretty basic. Jim, got something online? Oh, no, Jim's question. All
I'm
right.
just curious because the people you work with, have you run into agents that you cannot stand? And if you have, how do you deal with that?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh my God, I'll tell you a story. Okay, so I had these personal friends and they live in Covcay. And so they were renting the condo and the owner approached them, hey, you know, I want to sell this condo to you guys. And they're like, okay. And so the property manager has been like really horrible. She's a realtor.
Right.
And she like went with the contract, like saying,
It wasn't
okay.
Jerry, though.
No,
Okay,
it was
right,
another
yeah.
lady
Okay, all right, good deal.
from St. Pete. And she came and she just had a contract and okay, so we need the deposit in 3 days and this and that. And they're like, whoa, hold on. You know, first of all, we have a friend who's a realtor, and so we are gonna talk to her first. And so they reach out, and so I said, okay, perfect, I'll reach out to her. You know, she must have a listing agreement. So I reach out, and she said, oh, honey, there's no money for you in this. And I'm like,
Honey
okay.
and money.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, there's no money. All right, okay.
And I'm like, okay, great. Well, no problem. Let me go back to, you know, my friends' clients and see what we can do. And they were willing to pay me because she didn't provide a good service. And throughout the whole transaction, she was like really rude. really rude, but I was a better person. So, I was always like, oh my God, thank you so much for sending me the contract and the disclosures 15 days later.
Right.
But they pay me, and she wasn't a resource. They didn't know what lender to use. They didn't know about a down payment assistance. So I got it done. So,
and they paid you and happy to do it.
and they pay me, yeah. And she came to closing just to pick up her check and get some candy, and and she introduced herself to everybody.
Say, oh, honey, it's so nice to meet you.
Oh my God! So, yeah, that's been only really.
So that's the only time, but no bad clients, right? So you've never had anybody you've had to fire client-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
I sold a home in my first year.
Right.
And she gave me anxiety. She really was like, even up to the closing day, she was complaining about like a sliding glass door that was missing a roller and she wasn't gonna close. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll hire a contractor to fix your roller and your sliding glass door, but let's go. And that closing took like 4 hours. She wanted to read every single paper. It was like very stressful. And so then last year, she reached out, she wanted to do an income property purchase, and I'm like, okay. So I went to her house again, and I was like, oh my God, just like driving, I was having anxiety. And so I sat down, and she was willing to, but she just started off wrong, like she was at the beginning, until I finally said, you know what, this is not gonna work. You cannot be demanding. She wanted to see like 10 homes in one day, and I'm like, no, this is not how I work now. I was new, and I was willing to do the hard work, but now I don't.
Right.
So I fire her.
Good. Absolutely. Okay, sure enough, right?
Yeah.
You always prefer, though.
That's right, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, to your worst enemy. To that other agent, they called you honey.
Right?
Hey.
Should have.
I got the perfect agent for you. You call her up. Hey, honey, I've got a buyer.
Oh my God.
That is awesome. Okay,
So,
great question. Anybody else? You did a fantastic job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
And she kills, like I said, I just knew you guys were going to love her because she just does a fantastic job.
Thank
right?
you.
You can tell she loves on her clients love her. All right, they just take care of business. She does a ton, and you're going to continue to get referral after referral after referral. Not because you asked for it, not because there are car magnets on your car. Okay, nothing wrong with those.
I have a website.
Okay, but well, you better have a website. You're a web developer.
I don't have a website.
You don't have a website?
No. I sold more homes without a website than with a fancy website. So, no website.
Right? That's so true, right? Yeah, it's so true. And word of mouth and face to face is better than anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going out and just meeting people and saying, hey, that's yes, Janina.
How many transactions do you hope to do this year? Like, what are your goals for this year?
My goal, 24.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a big goal considering I have a family business to take care of. But nothing is impossible.
So you're saying your husband is probably a really good jiu-jitsu, what's he called? What's he called?
Instructor or
okay,
coach.
Okay,
yeah.
Coach. But probably not the best businessman in the world. So
oh, he's super good business
Oh, is he?
guy. Yeah, he's a great sales guy. So I've learned from him.
Books or anything though?
He does that.
He does that.
I do the marketing.
That's very unique. You've trained him well. That's great.
Yeah.
Most entrepreneurs are great at all that.
He does that.
So you have that.
I
and you have your
do
daughter.
the marketing
Okay,
for the
perfect.
jiu-jitsu.
And you have the daughter.
My daughter, the most important thing in my world.
Perfect.
Yeah, so 24 transactions, and so you break it down. Okay, so I need to have, at least 2 per month. I don't have a number in a goal, but like I would like to make 100,000 this year.
Yeah, that's done. Let me speak that into you. That's done.
Thank you.
All right, that is done because you can't do it. So, great question. Good deal. Because we all have to something in mind, right? The reason we have to have measurable things is so we can, when she does her Sunday night ritual, you got to have something to measure against.
And I write stuff like I'm gonna get a contract, and like I find like when you write stuff down, it repeats and you read it and you sleep and you dream about it. So it's really important to write, your goals down and your to-do, not just to do, but write it down. Nothing fancy. Just use what works for you. Like if you're into tech, advanced electronics, then you do it on your Google Calendar. But I find that pen and paper works for me. And this, I always carry it with me. Wherever I go, if I'm out to dinner or whatever, I always have pen and paper where to write.
Never know when an idea might hit. Right? Or something to do.
Yeah.
To write that down.
Yeah. So.
Okay, and again, it's not rocket science, guys.
No.
I'm just telling you, those of you who want to succeed in this business, let's refresh again. Be nice.
Be nice. Work hard.
Work hard.
And be a resource.
Be a resource, right, exactly.
As
Be
much
of value,
help.
right?
Yes.
Why would they want to use you, right? You got to have something to sell, right? If you're not going to be a resource, then again, and to her point, did you hear that kind of slip by? All right? We are well paid. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
All right? Those of you who aren't well paid, it's your own fault. Okay, how about that one? A little tough love? All right, here we go. All right? The reality is, as soon as you think you've got it that tough, go watch somebody roofing in July and tell me how bad it is that you had to go show a property today. All right? Getting out of your air-conditioned car and going to the air-conditioned home.
Yeah.
Those 20 steps, I know, from the driveway to the air-conditioned. I get it. Okay? You need to go out sometimes and go do a little manual labor and remember what it's like. Remind yourself that, hey, you know what? And I'm getting paid how much? Selling a $300,000 home and you get 2.5%? $7,500? You know what I've done for $7,500 in my life?
Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes. How many hours at the farm? Northern California at $4 an hour I was making. All right? It's a lot of hours. Jim, it was a goat farm? Is that where you were raised? Hog.
Well, I was raised on a sheep farm. Well, it was a giant farm, mostly sheep.
Okay, but you worked on a hog?
Farm, $4 an hour, too.
Okay, so love that.
Age 14.
That's where I was.
Cash under the table.
There you go.
I want to say something else. You're not just selling homes, you're selling the experience.
There you go.
That the people are having.
Nice.
So you have to provide always a positive experience. And if there's, there's always going to be negative stuff, like what comes up in the inspection, a low appraisal, but you just work through it and always be positive that, whatever comes at you, that you can figure it out. You gotta make it seem smooth. Like that, the best feedback I can get is like, oh my God, you did everything. It was like seamless. And that's our job. We get paid very good to make sure that we provide a positive experience for our clients.
And by the way, remember we teach thank God for problems, right? Because if there are no problems, they wouldn't need us, right? But our job is not to, you don't have to sit there and freak out in front of them. Oh my God, you need to pray, right? They're like, holy smokes, if you're freaking out, what? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right? You know what?
Yeah.
So, hey, no problem, I got this. Right?
Yeah.
We'll figure this out. Don't worry about it, all right?
What I've started doing now that I have listings, so you learn. Okay, so let's say it might be a little overpriced, so I just have to present the right comps and maybe have the appraiser like me. And so I put my comps.
Hey, you know what? What kind of coffee you drink?
I go and meet the appraiser, talk about the home. Okay, we've done this, we've repaired that, and be nice. Again, you don't have to be scripty or anything. Just provide value. Hopefully you'll get to use these comps and that's it. Be willing to work. You're getting paid, so do the job.
No excuses. None. And we are right. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Dead on.
Did
Good
it.
job.
Thank you so much
well
for
done.
having
Any last
me.
questions before we go? Great job. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so
Awesome
much.
job. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Great job.
Thank you, Bob.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool deal. Let's wrap up. So here, a couple things. Ken, you got a couple things.
Phil.
Sorry.
Ron going Ken.
That's right.
That's all right. I'm with the International Council, and we've got a couple things coming up on a symposium. Any of you are interested? Talked about FERPTA.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, right.
Susan Pasas is going to be there from her company. She's a CPA, so talking about the new FERPTA addendum.
Right.
I won't go through all of them, other than economic development people are going to be there from Pinellas. And at the very end is 3 hours of CE, where Don Gonzalez is going to be talking about visas, DACA, all the other fun things that are going on in the news right now. And you get 3 hours of CE. I've got the handouts right here for that. And then we will be teaching our international property specialists, certified CIPS, through the months of April through August. One every month with a different instructor from various parts of the world.
And where are these classes held? All at Pro.
Right.
Okay.
And in September, we'll have it home with diversity.
Awesome. Ken is very involved, or Phil is very involved. And I don't know why, you know. No, really? No. It's funny, you know, if everybody mispronounces my name, they would call me Doug. I think it's because my last name has the D-U-G in it, right? And they just kind of, I get the, and so I don't know. Sorry about that, Phil.
That's all right.
Tom.
Two announcements. Realtor Care Foundation has money to give away.
Tom, you just closed one with it.
I just closed one with a $5,000 grant to the buyers.
Awesome.
And so we probably have about $160,000
nice
in the till right now. So if you're working with first-time home buyers and they're buying in Hillsborough County, it's only good for Hillsborough County.
Right.
Doesn't matter what board you belong to. It's just the 501c3 is set up by RS to only work in.
The charter is set up to, so.
Okay. $5,000 grant, a two-family can make $38,300 gross income, two-member family. That goes up in April, because HUD comes out with a new list every April of what the things are. In fact, I was on the phone yesterday with the Pinellas Finance Authority, because I've got a buyer over there that we're going to get down payment assistance for. She never even knew Realtor Care Foundation existed until I told her. And so now she's going to put that in her bailiwick of stuff to give to people, and understands that it only can be used.
You're right for Hillsborough, but they probably get people running out of time.
Go to RCFGTAR, they haven't changed that yet, .org, RCFGTAR.org. It has the application and all the information about it there. Second announcement is on March the 29th at the Greater Tampa Realtors is our Tech Expo. It's an all-day event.
Oh, this is good stuff.
It's free. If you register, you get free lunch. If you don't register, you don't get lunch. But it's the same classes that happen in the morning session before lunch are repeated again in the afternoon session after lunch, so you don't have to be there the whole day. You can choose as soon as I get the actual schedule, I'll get it to Jim so he can fill it out to everybody. But we're going to cover all kinds of things like the transaction desk, form simplicity. We're going to do photos, especially with the new law about digital enhancements of photos, which can get you into a whole lot of trouble. We're going to be talking different photography and doing video. We're going to be having people that do advanced information on matrix and the things that we use. We're going to have a room with people like an expert desk. You can go in and ask information about different technologies that you use and so forth. And so, as soon as the schedule gets out, I'll get it to Jim to send everybody.
Perfect. So it's an all-day event, but you can go either morning or afternoon and catch stuff. So that's awesome. Good deal. All right. Perfect. Last thing, mark the calendar for April 5th. If you guys have been to 100K, April 5th is a Thursday, I believe, right? Should be 9:30. Equity National Title and Future Home, which is Sarah's group, right? And Future Home, and I think American Bank Shares, which is Francine, who's on the Realtor Care Foundation, right, with you at GTAR. Get her. What's that?
David.
Oh, David Rank's on there as well. Good. Michael Mayer, right, the author of the book 7 Levels, is actually we're hosting him. He's going to be here live. All right. Okay, yeah. So you can, you'll be if you look at the 100K page, we'll be having a registration page coming out soon. I think CD might be limited because it's going to be 9:30 to 11, and then we're going to have a light lunch after. East Lake Woodlands Country Club. So mark it down. He's going to be doing kind of an intro into. He has a bigger event coming up in June. So what he does is he comes in and does these smaller events to do that. But he's the author of the 7 Levels Communication, which most of us, or a lot of us, have read. We still read that every session as we go through 100K. So he'll be in town, so that's April 5th. All right, so mark that down. Vendors, you're more than welcome to come as well if you want to reach out and see what Sarah's got going on. So, and it's a great thing. Any questions I can answer for you? All right, everything going well? Continue to get your stuff in. All right, Maureen, she's not here, but I'm sure she would say get your files in. All right. Sooner the better, so that we have time to get back to you if there is anything that are issues. And, oh yeah, Jim.